Go.
Is this a speed run?
Yes.
Okay, so I was vacationing in Virginia with Song for 2.5 weeks, and
We did absolutely nothing.
for the first 2 weeks, and then we did everything on the last weekend. Now, the food pictures will be at the end, so warning, there will be food pictures at the end. Um, we are starting with, this is Monticello. This is Thomas Jefferson's house.
I like how you said it slowly.
Well, my brain almost said Monticello because that's I'm used to pronouncing Monticello, Indiana. Come a rip. Now, we took a guided tour of Thomas Jefferson's house. They did not let you take pictures inside the house on the first floor.
Well, I like say it Monticello like it's like there's a H somewhere, but there's actually not. But that's just the way I pronounce it,
I mean,
and I've always pronounced it, and everyone else was pronouncing it that way.
Well, because I mean, I never even knew it because I think it's Italian.
Yeah.
So, Doom, you were gone. I mentioned that in order to do this without window capture, I'm showing these pictures in a weird, different way. So now to move to the next picture, I kind of have to select the next one, and there it is. Okay, so did that work?
Yeah.
Okay, so in his basement, besides slave quarters and whatnot, he had a lot of wine storage and beer storage. Yes, so I took a lot of...
He was a wino.
He was a wino, just like Doom. I took a lot of pictures of wine cellars just for Doom, basically.
Well, in the tour, we were even told that during his 5 years living in, like, France, he, like, came back with a crap ton of wine because he fell in love with French and European wines. And he was insistent on, like, I'm going to make a vineyard. We are going to be starting producing wines here.
Another wine.
And Charlottesville is well known for its vineyards. It is a vineyard place with lots of stuff. We actually passed by some grapevines, but Rockman was kind of like closed eyes, so he didn't see it.
Is that what you heard on the grapevine? Here's the
No, I saw it on the grapevine with my eyes.
Here's the beer cellar. Okay, and here are some of the gardens which don't have any crops because it was frickin' February.
And this, like where we're standing, what was it called? What row?
Oh, jeez. Something with an M.
Mulberry.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mulberry Row. So a whole bunch of slave quarters and slave workshops were just along this line of road right next to Monticello. And so they'd rebuilt a whole bunch that they could, and also obviously found archaeological evidence of things and where stuff was. And
yeah, so we had a nice tour
foundations.
inside the house, which again, I can't show you more inside the house anyways. And then it ran a little long, and we had to rush and get to our next destination, which was the Woodrow Wilson Birth House and Museum. Despite the signs that said no photography, the guy who was giving the tour in this place was really nice as well, and he said I could take some pictures, so I took some pictures. This is their range stove oven.
This is their awesome sauce stove.
This is state-of-the-art technology in 1846, he said. This was mind-blowing.
Well, it's kind of like, so at the bottom, you got your, like, super, super hot oven, and then you got your stove top, where you would literally, like, leave it on the stove for later. It's like this thing was going 24/7, probably. So it was kind of like it just kept stuff warm. And then above that, that's your oven for, like, baking breads and stuff.
Yeah, so, by the way, if you don't know much about Woodrow Wilson, and I really didn't, I mean, he was president 100 years ago, but he was born in this house, and he only lived there for a couple years. His dad was a minister. I forget when they moved. I think he was like 2 or 3 or something when they moved. But his dad...
maybe slightly older, but I don't know.
Something like that. He only spent like his toddler years in this house.
Yeah.
and before the family moved
before his education started.
Yeah, so I mean, even though this is like the best Woodrow Wilson thing that he got, it's his birth house, but he didn't really live there for very long.
But it's nice history as far as like how people were living back then.
See, now the next picture is a vertical one, so I have to. Okay, there.
Did you include the oysters?
No.
But you should have included the oysters.
I can't include every picture. You can.
But they were like in Stanton. It was all like, what's the word? Hipster. They had hipster oysters in Stanton because of the railroad.
Yeah, they said that when the railroad came in, all these oysters were suddenly coming in from the coast, and all these hipsters, you know, in the middle of Virginia were eating oysters, so they had fake oysters out on a tray. So, Song, tell them about this grandfather clock.
This grandfather clock is wound like, what, every Tuesday at a certain time, and there is only 3 ladies who know how to wind this grandfather clock. An old lady, a middle lady, and a young lady, like college-age young lady.
And they're not allowed to ride on the
be on a plane together.
They're not on be in this plane together. Hey, lizard. Because if they die, then they're screwed.
Yeah, then they don't know how to wind this grandfather clock at all.
Yes, because in this town there is a famous women's college named
Mary Baldwin.
Mary Baldwin, and Mary Baldwin was
it's a private women's college.
But I mean, she ran the thing during the Civil War, right? And
yes.
She was the one who came up to the Union soldiers and said, "Y'all ain't
messing with my girls."
She said, "Y'all ain't burning down my town, and you ain't messing with my girls." Yeah.
And they didn't. Like, they destroyed the railroad, and they burned a whole bunch of the crops and stuff. But they did not destroy the town. They did not burn the town to the ground.
Because the town...
that would have been bad PR.
The town also... I mean, the town has the women's college. It has the school for the deaf and blind.
Which it still does. Still has the college. Still has the deaf and blind.
And then it had, at that time, what they called a lunatic asylum, I think. So, yeah, like, the Union soldiers were not interested in burning this town down.
But it was correct for them to do the crops and the training that strategically. Besides, down in Lexington, Virginia, is where the Virginia Military Institute is.
There we go.
Where they're learning up all the young boys about military tactics, so they really wanted to burn that to the ground. And they did.
This is the outside front of the house.
Very, very burned.
Look, here's Song in front of the Woodrow Wilson Museum.
Yay!
And the guy in the back on the left was our tour guide, who did not consent to me showing him on stream.
Boo!
I did not consent to showing me on stream, so there will be no pictures of me. In the basement of this museum, there is a World War I trench exhibit, which actually Song didn't even go down there, so you're seeing this for the first time.
No, you showed me the picture.
Oh, I did. So yeah, that was kind of cool. All right, so what's next?
Yeah, because that's what I think of when I think of trench warfare. Actually, I think of trench foot.
Think of Wonder Woman. Okay, so this is Luray Caverns.
Oh, you have another picture of me. Now everyone knows I wore one jacket and one pair of jeans.
Yeah. Don't I wear one jacket and one pair of jeans also? Well, yes. No one will ever know that because they ain't seen any pictures of me. Except, I think everyone in here except Ramimi has already seen me. I
hope Ramimi's going to demand pictures now.
Well, she can come and see me in Illinois in person. So these Luray Caverns are really large, really popular caverns in Virginia.
Luray, Virginia. It's in the middle of Virginia.
It was discovered in like 1878, and it's been a big tourism site. And this is actually a brand new entrance that they just recently made a couple years ago. Really great, really cool and interesting. I've never. Again, we took a tour inside here. How long was the tour? An hour.
An hour.
Yes, the Luray Caverns, the Luray Caverns, whatever. So I've got a few pictures of here. My jacket is black, like my pants and shirts and my soul.
Discovered in 1878.
How could a person call their jacket whack? Okay, so this is a famous part of the caverns. It's called Dream Lake. If you look at that, that's actually water.
In the ceiling.
You're seeing crystal clear water reflecting the ceiling perfectly.
Crystal clear, still water.
Yeah, and
like,
I actually have a video of this, and it's kind of, the video of it is really nice too, because you know.
Now over kind of towards the side, towards the right side, that's where the water's coming in, so you can kind of see it a little bit ripply. But yeah.
Here's another part of the caverns, and again, I took a lot of pictures, and obviously I'm not showing every picture, just a few of them. You know, I want to bore the hell out of you guys. This was one of my favorite parts. That is a stalactite that fell down 7,000 years ago during an earthquake. And Salazar's only 20 years old. Okay, so in the place where the caverns is, there's these other things that are there, and some of them are included. Like there was a cafeteria. This is a toy museum, which was not very large, but there's a large train, relatively large train inside this toy museum. And actually, if you look at his face, it's frickin' Thomas the Tank Engine. I also have a movie of this train going around. And then right next to this little toy museum, there is what they call the Car and Caravan Museum. So they have like basically a lot of old-timey cars, like some stuff from the 1800s that are not really cars, and then like, you know, early 1900s cars going up to like, I don't know, some maybe around 1930, 40, something like that. This, what you're looking at here, is a Mercedes-Benz. No, wait, it's actually just a Benz. I don't think he, you know, met Mercedes yet. I think that sign says 1898 Benz. Okay, now I think 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the next few pictures are vertical, so. Okay. So this is a 1906 Cadillac. Very fancy, right? I remember when we didn't have no P. Diddy. All right, Doom, remember those electric cars I showed you at the other museum? Well, guess what? Look, this is a 1908, does that say? Baker electric car. I don't know. Okay, so I included this picture because I believe Song wanted to ask the chat's opinion. Is
this a woman or a man?
Yes. I asked Ratmus earlier today, and he said that it was a woman pretending to be a man so that she could fight in the army.
But, I mean, I'm just like, I think it's supposed to be a man for, like, World War One, maybe World War Two. Is it World War Two? I don't know. I don't even know. When do we have bayonets still?
I mean, it seems to me like it would be World War One.
That's what I'm thinking, especially kind of the trenchy stuff. But I'm just like, with the way the shirt is open, it clearly like, and even the face was kind of androgynous. And I was like, I don't know. Hi, Milo.
Okay, and here is a 1929 Ford Model A that says "Vote for Hoover."
Hoovervilles.
Okay, okay, Museum 6. All right.
Hmm.
I don't know. So another thing that was next to the caverns was a garden maze, which you did have to pay extra for. I'm so glad we did because we had a great time inside this garden maze. I get my undershirts and underwear. Yeah, thankfully it wasn't, although Song and I kept getting lost from each other, first of all. Second of all, there's 4 goals that you're supposed to stamp your card. And
Maybe I was getting lost on purpose.
Song couldn't stand to be with me for any more seconds. We found goal 2 and 3 before we backtracked and found where goal 1 was that we missed.
And then we had to find goal 3 again so we could go forward. Because it's like 1, 2, and 3 are relatively early, and then you just traverse and traverse and traverse to get to 4.
Okay, the next pick is also vertical. Maze 3. So I have all these pictures named and organized. Now, that's a face, right?
Yeah, we were like going places, and he's like, I remember that face. We're supposed to go this way. And I was just kind of like, sure. And just money, okay? Money, okay, money, whatever. That thing with the jiggly head that almost sounds like Makar, but isn't.
Fish face. You mean like fish waffle?
Isn't Fish Waffle here and she's going to yell at you?
Well, I don't think that looks like fish waffle.
There you go.
All right, so yeah, about halfway through the maze, you get up on this like higher platform so you can see a little bit, and then actually you get to the middle of the maze. Oh, and by the way, the pictures that I'm showing here, I'm going to post some additional pictures on the Discord later. So those will be bonus pictures for the Discord later. There'll be extra pics.
Oh, and this whole area is kind of called the Blue Ridge, for like Blue Ridge Mountains, and everyone can see from this picture why they're called the Blue Ridge Mountains. Ta-da. Because he's standing on a platform?
Or do you mean why is Song so short?
Because I was not standing on a platform.
All right, so next is the food pictures. So as I warned you, here comes the food. This is Mongolian pork that we got from the Chinese place. Because I've had Mongolian beef, chicken, shrimp, and I was like, they have Mongolian pork. I'm going to try it. It was good. All right, this is chicken that Song made, and this time she made it with cheese and shells. So like mac and cheese, except it's shells with chicken and peas. Right, good stuff. Okay, see.
They're making me cook after work, and I was like, here you go.
Again, I wish Luna was here because, again, I got this like a couple years ago. I got a chili cheeseburger, and then I went and got a chili burger, and I forgot to put the cheese on it. And I remember talking about it in chat and saying like, "Oh, I got a chili cheeseburger," and then Song was like, "You didn't have cheese on it this time. You're wrong. That picture's wrong." And so like, I was ashamed of myself, so I got a chili cheeseburger.
That's how I presented it to him, and he just took a picture before he mixed it up.
So anyways, I assure you that this picture is real, and I did have cheese on my chili cheeseburger. Next one is a vertical picture. Yeah, because again, I'm not even showing you all the food pictures because I know not everything needs to be shown. Like I know you guys have seen our melting pot pictures.
Why do you keep going back?
It's because whenever I switch between the vertical versus horizontal.
Oh.
So yeah, like I said, I know you've all seen our melting pot pictures before, so I'm like not going to show everything. But this is, you know, we did have the 4-course, and we each had it where you choose 4 meats that we wanted. So mine is on the left, and from the top I chose Cajun shrimp, herb crusted chicken, andouille sausage. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Who cares? And filet mignon. And then, Song, what did you have?
I also had the herb crusted chicken, and then I had like the dry rubbed pork. Is I don't remember what they called the dry rub, but it was a dry rub pork, duck, and then I had the teriyaki marinated sirloin.
Mm.
You can already see some of my meat's already in the pot cooking. I'm just like, I'm hungry now. Now. Hello, burger.
Song, you want
This
to try
was
this?
Rockman's first taste of vodka sauce.
Song tried to get me drunk with vodka sauce.
Because that's totally how it works.
And all that alcohol that was at the melting pot.
Mm-hmm. Doom, you know how much I was rolling my eyes at him, right?
Song was like, children eat this sauce.
Yes. Like, you buy it at the grocery store. They don't check your ID.
This was a turkey BLT that we shared in the hotel.
So, well, along with this, so in the area of the hotel and kind of like in between, it's Waynesboro, Virginia, so it's in between Charlottesville and it's in between Stanton. It also happens to be where we would usually stop partway through our big trips to Tennessee and stuff to see my grandparents. Because it's like there's a McDonald's there and stuff, so we stopped there when we were kids, and then as we got older, my parents were like, hey, do you want to go to this place with donuts instead of McDonald's all the time? And we're like, sure. So there's a very nice local gas station that does like handcrafted sandwiches. And so I stopped there and was like, order a handcrafted sandwich. And he was like, okay. And I'm like, this is a part of me, because I have like stopped here every single time that I have passed between 64 and 81. I always stop here. I can't not stop here.
Mm-hmm. So then one night we went to Outback Steakhouse, and yeah, I got a strawberry lemonade. And
sandwiches.
Steak, shrimp, mashed potatoes, mushrooms. All right, and this is the final picture, although I do have something else.
I think the schmear on the bottom, by the way, is like you ate some shrimp before you took a picture.
No, I didn't know. So I finally got to try the Popeyes spicy chicken sandwich that caused all of the riots and mass murders, and I really liked it. As Zoda comes in, and I already talked to Zoda about this, and he was like, he said he tried it and he didn't think it was very good. Message from... It's not showing up. Yeah, the sauce, to me, is what really made it was the sauce. Well, unfortunately, Zoda, that was the last picture, so you literally
go back. Show them the Luray Caverns
literally missed
ones.
everything.
Show them the not the food pictures ones.
to.
Yes.
Okay, wait. Actually, before I do that, because I'm totally going to highlight this, I have a movie that I want to show you guys. This movie was filmed in RockSong's, the hotel that we stayed at, in the hallway. All right, so here goes. So this is Song at the vending machine. She's putting in a $5 bill, getting a bottle of water. Watch what happens next. Hashtag clickbait.
Wait, one, I checked to make sure the water's there. And then I hit the coin release for my change.
And then it just fucking spits out 1,000,000 quarters at 100 miles per hour all over the fucking floor.
I'm catching the ones I can. And there is still a whole bunch, like, in the thing. But they, like, spit out so fast that they just, like, there's a majority of them actually stay in there. And then, like, I guess about half stayed in and half fell out. Or spat out.
Okay, so as far as highlights goes, that's the end.